Good evening, cult members, and welcome to Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
And this is the Rebel Files, your one-stop shop for everything. It's actually just every Monday for the rest of the year we're getting something Star Wars.
Yeah.
This is going to be our trailer reaction to the Mandalorian trailer that we just got. Josh and I will do a deep dive, hopefully on a one try tomorrow. But we're not going to set it up. We're getting it. We're watching it for the show. We're excited, and we're just gonna go
and go.
So here we go. Mandalorian trailer 2, and go.
Dead stormtrooper heads.
Is the world more peaceful since the revolution? It is a shame that your people suffered.
That's an interesting comment.
Nice.
That was awesome.
But bounty hunting is a complicated profession.
That's from the other trailer they have.
Yeah. Now we know.
Yeah. Ship is so cool.
They said you were coming. They said you were the best in the parsec.
Well. Hi.
Wrong
Do you
room.
agree?
He is the Red Viper.
What is that?
Whoa, Nelly.
Mandalorian. Look outside. They're
Ooh,
waiting
the
for
badass.
Hi.
you. Yeah? Good.
Disney Plus, because actually we're just getting it for National Geographic. We're not getting it
Yeah,
for
that's
anything
it.
else.
Yep.
Okay, I have a ton of thoughts, and there's a bunch of Easter eggs in this trailer. But what do you think, not being super in-depth with all of the stuff that's coming on with this?
Well, I mean, obviously it looks cool and we're excited. But like I said, now we know there was a lot of speculation about the carbonite freeze and who it was. And it's just a transportation form for him to bring in his
makes
bounty.
a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Actually,
You can just stack them
you
up.
you can stack them up. You don't have to feed them. You have to worry about them trying to escape or attack you while you're flying. It kind of makes sense,
Yeah,
actually.
it totally makes sense. So that question is answered. And the chick, I didn't really realize she was in this from Deadpool. I'm wearing my Deadpool shirt.
Yeah.
Is in this?
Yeah, Gina Carano is she's actually one of the major characters. Cara Dune is her name. She's a ex-rebel shock trooper. So she actually was one of the shock groups. So that's what was her firing the gun was the big, and they've talked about how it's her trying to transition out of being that.
Right.
And having lived that lifestyle and having all that stuff. And now she's really nobody with no purpose.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So
Trying to figure out who she is. And yeah. Yep.
Carl Weathers, we got him.
Yep. Carl Weathers. And
Giancarlo Ribisi. No. He's the guy from
Breaking Bad.
I can never say his name. I can say Werner Herzog's name, but I can't say Giancarlo's name. There's a lot of little Easter eggs, hints, things in here. Werner Herzog's character talking to the Mandalorian about was the world better with post the rebellion kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then he makes a line of "I'm sorry for your world," which is a direct conversation about the fall of Mandalore and what happened to them. And that's just a direct that's exactly to the audience that it's supposed to be.
Because spoilers, the Mandalorians were all killed off, right?
They were they were attacked, and then they were taken over by Darth Maul, and they lost a major war to the Jedi way before the Galactic Empire. So they lost that, and then Darth Maul came in and took over Mandalore
Right.
and broke up the clans, and then Duchess Satine tried to like bring everybody together, but Maul killed her, and Mandalore itself became like this wasteland for civil war because all the clans were fighting with each other and everything and stuff. Boba Fett, the armor itself is Mandalorian, but he is not a Mandalorian, and
Right.
Jango Fett, same thing. And
Right.
so that whole, that's just a direct wink and a nod to the audience. There's a ship flying overhead. It looks like it might be some kind of Corellian style ship, like the Millennium Falcon. I haven't been able to freeze frame it yet,
Okay.
but it's got that kind of general Millennium Falcon Corellian ship design.
Right.
There's a destroyer droid, a B2 droid from the prequels in the background firing, which is a kind of a nice little wink and a nod. There's and then there's plot stuff in here. I think that Werner Herzog is going to be one of his bounties that he's going to go get, and he has a
But
history
he's
with them.
surrounded by stormtroopers.
Fighters in stormtrooper armor.
Okay.
Because if you actually, like I said, I've watched it a couple times already, so I've had a chance to kind of look at some of the details. The stormtrooper armor itself is very dirty,
Yeah.
which is not very stormtrooper-like, but it's also misfitting.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of the guys are small. They're most even the First Order troopers that are from different planets and stuff like that that they kidnapped, and they're fully bodied, but a lot of these guys that were standing there very small in the chest, kind of smaller in stature. The helmets are too big, so they're all kind of mixed matched and stuff.
Okay.
So like there's that whole kind of it's stormtroopers, but once you kind of like think about it for a minute, this is supposed to happen 8 years after the Battle of Endor. And so it'd be kind of a cool little wink and nod to the Chuck Wendig books, the Aftermath books that Josh and I have been talking a lot about, how it's going to affect Episode 9. Their purpose in those books is to go get ex-Imperials. So they're like the Nazi hunters after World War II.
Okay.
And I think that's what the Mandalorian is kind of going to have as an overlying story arc. But the kid that they show for a second, and then that kid's mom later on, I think that's the MacGuffin for the whole story. So that's what it comes down to. A couple of things that I found really weird. They dropped this like in the middle of the second quarter on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
They announced today that we were getting this trailer tonight, and there was no like time when the trailer was actually coming out. So we thought it was going to be like halftime, like it was for Rise of Skywalker last week. So we went to do our workout, and we had the Monday Night Football game in the gym on, and I'm like, doing my lifts and all this stuff, and I turn around, and the freaking Mandalorian is standing there looking at me, and I'm like, whoa, I'm finding the remote and stuff, and so it was kind of a weird time, hey, we're doing it tonight, but no, like real time, and then they didn't do it really, like they didn't profile it or anything, and
I don't know. I think it's just they're just running up to promoting Disney Plus, not necessarily Mandalorian. Not necessarily everybody's going to know what that is, so it may not be quite as big of a deal to say, hey, it's going to be at this time. I don't know that a whole lot of people that aren't Star Wars nerds are going to care.
the Rise of Skywalker, that's a movie event.
Everybody knows that, right? Star Wars movies are still coming out and everything, but I don't know that everybody's into the fact that there's
this
gonna
show
be a
is
series.
specifically made for the diehards.
Yeah.
And they're hoping to suck people like you in who like Star Wars.
Yeah.
And have you suck in because it's a good show.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yep,
That's what they're really
absolutely.
hoping for. So that's our thoughts, our brief thoughts. Josh and I will do a deep dive tomorrow on The Mandalorian official trailer number 2 for Disney Plus. Have you already signed up for Disney Plus? Have you got the super 3-year package? We missed on that. I feel bad about it. Also, let us know what you think the MacGuffin is going to be for this show. Is it going to be the kid? Is it going to be the bounty for Werner Herzog? Or is it something else? The Darksaber. That's a whole story arc that could be a lot of fun. So let us know in the comments. Like this video. Please help us out by subscribing to the channel. And we have a Patreon going right now with a Star Wars theme. So help us out there. And we're also on all the social media stuff. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. That's all in the description down below. Until the next one, if we don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.